cast lead and protective edge. In that chapter we're discussing, you assert that we must reject the description of Israeli actions as part of the war against terror or as a war of self-defense. Obviously, in regard to the current situation in Gaza, we have been inundated with the similar claims that Israel is fighting a self-defensive war against terrorism. Does your rejection of these descriptions still hold true when applied to the current conflict in Gaza?
Oh, definitely. I think the main factor by which you move away from maybe some agreement that initial Israeli actions are self-defense, for example, pushing out the Hamas and the Palestinian citizens that went into Israel, pushing them out of the country. You can see it as self-defense. Maybe some of the very early actions immediately after the 7th of October, 16 months into the genocide, you understand that this has nothing to do with self-defense. For two major reasons. One is that it became very clear, I think almost a month into the Israeli so-called retaliation to the events of the 7th of October, it became very clear that the Israeli political and military elite, with large support from the Israeli Jewish public, decided that the only response for what happened on the 7th of October is genociding the people of Gaza. So that by itself cannot be self-defense by any moral, legal, or commonsensical definition. So it became a punitive action. But I think about 5 or 6 months after, something else unfolded. That this is not just a punitive revenge action that turned into genocidal policy. This is now seen by very important elements in the Israeli political elite as a huge opportunity to wipe out the Palestinian as a whole, as a people, as a notion, as an idea, as history, as a geography. So it became kind of an elimination, a project of elimination that was beyond the genocide. It's kind of saying, this is now the time to normalize the total disappearance of the Palestinian people, with the hope that some Arab countries would normalize this disappearance, definitely having enough allies in the world who would go along with this. So this is not at all against terror or against self-defense. This is maybe the last attempt by the Zionist movement, which was a European settler movement that was supported by Europe in order to solve a European problem, the problem of anti-Semitism in Europe, by imposing a European Jewish state at the heart of the Arab world at the expense of the indigenous people of Palestine. This is, and it didn't work. With all the power that we use, it didn't work. We are now at this moment where they believe maybe now is the last window of opportunity to do this. And the Hamas's brutality, as they would see it, on the 7th of October gives us the license to do it. I think Israelis are still surprised, really surprised, that most normal people around the world, even those who were shocked by what they know happened to Israelis on the 7th of October, do not accept this logic. I mean, really totally reject this logic that because of what happened on 7th of October, you can genocide the people of Gaza, you can ethnically cleansing the people of the West Bank, and so on. But it's inbuilt into the Israeli propaganda, but it's more than propaganda. I think this is something that characterizes some of the most important ideological and political forces today in the Jewish society in Israel.